time again, RC fans. I wanted to make a comparison video on which one I feel is a better truck. I'm not an arrma fan or a traxxas fan. I actually like both of them, so I'm not being biased. This is my personal thoughts on the trucks. So, starting with the sledge. For bodies, for the between the two, this is obviously the Kraton 6S EXB version 1. There is a version 2 of this. Minor differences, there's a twin beam chassis support, and it's got aluminium diffs and a couple of little bits, but virtually the same platforms. So as from the body, the mounting system, much better idea than the Kraton. And not just that, I find the traxxas bodies are much stronger. I know it's got a bit of a roll cage in it, but they were definitely stronger than the Kraton. They're dead flimsy and they break quite easily. Let's put this down a second. Then moving on to wheels. Traxxas wheels versus arrma wheels. As you can see, sledge ain't got no wheels on at the minute because they're broke. Tyres are way too soft from stock, sponges are too soft. Yeah, and I managed to crack 2 wheels. Arrma wheels on the other hand, never had a problem with them. Absolutely bomb proof. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna take the win for that one. Moving on to Driveline. So it's a bit of a mixed bag really with Driveline. This has like really thick diff cups, small diff cups that tend to break quite easily on the arrma. The gears on the traxxas tend to be a bit of a powder metal type gearing, and yeah, they tend to break quite often. Not so much on the arrma. So they're pretty much on par really with the Driveline. Plastics, it's got to be the sledge, without a doubt. The plastics on the sledge are way stronger. I've never broke a single plastic part on this car since I've owned it. I have broken 2 hinge pins here, snapped them, hardened steel, broke them, and I bent this twice, and I put an aftermarket one on now. But this arm has been pulled out on 2 or 3 occasions, and there is still no play. It's not even like elongated out in the where the arm fits here. These plastics are strong as anything. I've got broken drive shaft in there at the minute. That's another thing. It broke a CV joint here as well, and this is still all attached. You can see the flex in them. This is run RPM's arms up front, obviously, but yeah, yeah, the plastics they're okay on the Kraton. Don't get me wrong, they're good, but they don't beat the sledge. Not a chance. Wing mounts, I've had to put a HD wing mount system on this, as you can see underneath, because obviously the wing mounts on my cheese, they just end up breaking straight away, ripping screws out the back. Wing mounts on the sledge, it's had numerous times I've come down hard on the wing mount and it's never broken. Way better design. Moving on to battery holders. Right, I'm going to give it the sledge again. I wish this was a little bit taller to give a bit more room for a little bit bigger, more batteries, but I have got all my batteries will fit in this car I've got, as long as I put them on the side, and I tend to run between 45 and 5,000 ish. This is a bit of a faff. I know you can get some bigger batteries in it, but it's a faff trying to mess around with all the straps trying to fit it in and whatnot. So yeah, I'm going to go with the traxxas. Suspension's good on the arrma. The shafts they do wobble about a bit, as you can see. Not cause any problems, it's just how they are. It's a arrma thing. These on the other hand, absolutely solid. There's no flexing them at all. 5mm shafts are stock. They could have gone with aluminium shock caps for the price of the car, definitely. But overall, the arrma feel better. It's probably just how it's set up. These I'd say are stronger. And then on to electronics. Can't really compare the electronics because obviously this is a Max 6 setup, way faster, much more tunable. Traxxas gets the job done. What they did make a mistake with is there ain't much room for a different motor unless you change the motor mount. You can do reverse motor mount system, stuff like that. ESC, loads of people have problems with ESC packing up. I've had the X-Max and this now. I've not had a problem with the ESCs on them. Not a lot of settings you can do with them really, but it gets the job done. They're okay. The main issue with these is it runs a 1352 gearing, but there's no room for adjustment. There is and there ain't. So basically underneath, you can't really see it at the minute because I've got a chassis plate on there. You've got like a sliding motor mount system like you do on the like nitro cars, and they tend to move. So what I've done is I've put some GPM locking tabs on it to keep them fixed, so it locks it in position. But if you want to change the gearing, you've either got to try and find some different motor tabs or adjust it out, and it ain't great. So it wants a motor mount system really. That would sort that out. And for God's sake, Traxxas, this should have come with a front bumper on it. For £750, this should have had a bumper fitted. So yeah, there's definitely room. I think what Traxxas should do with this, I think they should make this as a roller. I think they should make a roller version with the better motor mount, and I think they'd sell them a lot more. Which car I think drives better, my personal opinion? The Kraton. Yeah, that's the one. What car do I think stronger out the box? I'm gonna go with the Sledge. Like I say, the plastics on this are amazing, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, back with the electronics as well. The steering servo this Sledge comes with is so slow. I don't know what they were thinking putting that in. When they built this and took it test for a test, they should have pulled that straight out. That's ridiculous for what you're getting. It's just rubbish. If you M2C'd the pair of these up to the eyeballs, this one and this one, and obviously the similar power systems in them, I do believe the Sledge would probably make a stronger car just because of the plastics of the arms and stuff like that. But you cannot go wrong with either one of these cars. I'm still steered towards more for the Kraton. arrma makes some great 6S cars. And I've had 2 or 3 traxxas now and about 3 arrmas, and I like them both, to be honest. I say this is not a bias, it's not a Traxxas fanboy or an arrma fanboy, but for what I like driving wise and the feel of both cars so far, it's got to be the Kraton. But there's big plans for this yet. I will be pulling the system out of this and upgrading it, as well as plenty of other upgrades, probably M2C chassis, and it's all in the pipeline. It will be done. But probably 2 of the best 6S monster truckers you could probably buy at the minute. And if I was to say for choose at the minute, this is £750. The V2 ready to run is £750. I would go with that. Yeah, I would definitely go with the V2 Kraton over that. But if you like the Sledge, you cannot go wrong buying this car. It's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, it does the job. Perfect. Thanks again, guys. Thanks for watching. Sorry guys, I forgot to mention, I'm looking at doing the East Tactics Jumps Challenge sometime towards the end of this week. I think we've found a nice little spot to try out, so yeah, please stay tuned for that one. Yeah, so please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. It's been much appreciated, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks again. Cheers.